Hey, William, so good to see you again.
Hey, sir, how are you?
Doing great. This is a crazy subject I'm going to ask because it's so many people talking about it behind the closed door. And this is what I'm going to open up right now.
Okay.
Is divorce God's will?
Wow. Wow. I would say yes. And
Mm,
because in church we have over spiritualized things, and I think that we have taken things out of context. To the point when it comes down to, and I'm focusing on men. I'm not focusing on women, but I'm gonna focus on men
mhm.
for a minute. um, because when it comes down to certain subjects or things that happen to men, for instance, for me, I experienced abuse. I experienced being hit in my head, having to go to the hospital, having to take 14 pills a day, and then later on, the church was telling me, and not only that, I had a protective order. The church was telling me I had to come and sit at the table and talk to the other person when I had a legal protective order. And they were pushing at me as if I did something wrong for taking the proper channels to protect myself, which I just stated. I went to the hospital. I had to take 14 pills a day because I had a concussion. And it was set up that it was a protective order given right then. And from that situation, the hostility still came at me, to the point that I saw I was free in my spirit to accept divorce. And that's why I say divorce is God's will. Because we can't over spiritualize things and take things out of context. We got to think about what also, let's think about from this standpoint, where it says, there have no temptation taking you such as common to man. One of the things that he said, but God will make a way of escape. So he said a way. Now he didn't say what that way was going to look like, but if you being beaten your head,
Mm-mm.
what you think, a way is going to come? Because ultimately, somebody could have been hurt. I could have physically hurt that person, and I would have been the person that would have been in trouble. And so for men, we have to really look at the situations we find ourselves in and seek God for wisdom. I was in a situation also where I was in a relationship with where my former wife had an affair, and the whole time I'm praying, and asking God to change the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this one situation
Mm-hmm.
where she had stayed out, didn't come home, and when I asked her where she was at, she told me she was somewhere where I knew she wasn't. And I was like, well, look, you wasn't there. I said, I know what you're doing. I said, either you're gonna be a wife and a mother to these kids, or you can pack up your bags and go.
Mm-mm. Mm.
And it was amazing how I said that, because person would have been angry and frustrated. But for some reason, I was at peace when I said what I had said.
Wow.
I said, you can pack up your bags and go.
Mm.
And lo and behold, when I got home,
Mm-hmm.
their bags were packed up
Wow.
and gone.
Wow.
And this is why I say divorce is
Mm.
God's will. We have to keep things in its proper context as we're following the Spirit of God. We can't seek to follow, of course, we're following the word, but follow the opinions of others.
Mm. Mm.
Because a whole lot of people shame divorce, and a whole lot of people look at divorce as being like one of the worst things in the world.
Mm.
But for some people that experience divorce, and were led to go
Mm.
through a see divorce as liberation. They
Mm.
see it as God made a way of escape for them, and
Wow.
and, and it's no different than if me
Mm.
and you are praying for a answer, and we're asking God to reveal the answer. Let's say if we're praying for finances. I remember one time I was praying for finances, and God said, "Well, seek." He said, "Draw nigh to me, and I'll draw nigh to you." I was like, "That don't make sense. That wasn't the answer
Mm.
that I was looking for." And sometimes,
Mm.
you know, type of answer that God gives us doesn't look like what we're looking for,
Mm.
because we have a way of what we want things and how we want things to turn out. And we don't know what God is doing. We don't know how many times God has been tugging on a individual's heart to seek to change them. And so it behooves us to surrender and to allow God to lead us. And
And
sometimes
mm.
God uses divorce
Wow.
for
Mm. That's a great perspective. That's why I have this website. It's called Wisdom to Perspective. Your wisdom, your perspective. And I'm excited when I post this. People's gonna watch and listen, and the most important, follow up and ask question. Ask God first of all, but also your availability will be great when they can talk to you and ask, because everybody have a story to share, and your story is powerful, William. I appreciate your time. Thank you for sharing from your heart. God bless you, William. Thank you.
right.